So today we have some European football. European football that I'm going to deliberately try not to win. Yes, hello, welcome into Living in Sports, here for another episode of Glory Hunter of Football Manager 22, here with Manchester United. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. And if you miss the last one, go and check it out. It was the start of the new season. You'll get to see some of our new signings. You'll get to be introduced to the squad. Come on, go and check it out if you haven't already. And you did hear me right in the intro. We're going to be trying not to win today, and I'll explain why. If you have been around for a while, you'll know what the whole Glory Hunter challenge is. We're trying to win all 5 leagues and cups in the top 5 European nations. The Champions League, the Europa League, the Conference League, the World Cup and the European Championships. 2 international trophies, 13 domestic trophies. Well, I say domestic club trophies, you know what I mean. We've already won the Champions League, yet we're in the Champions League group stage. So we're going to try and finish third in this group, to try to deliberately get ourselves into Europa League so we can try and win that with Manchester United. That's the aim. Let's see if we can do it. There is a possibility that if we get knocked out of the Champions League group stage, we get sacked, which would mean we wouldn't have a chance to win the FA Cup this year, which would not be ideal. But I feel it's probably a fairly sensible move to try to do, because this team obviously won the Champions League last year, so they're more than capable of winning Europa League if we want to do that. So we just need to try and get ourselves into the Europa League, which is quite hard because even our backup team's good enough to beat teams like Sporting and Club Brugge. So we might not be able to do it, but we're going to give it our best shot to finish third in this group. And I have created a tactic. And this is the tactic, and I've called it throwing the Champions League. We're going to be basically parking the bus, playing very defensive, trying not to do anything. And if we can play for a 0-0 draw times 6 games, I calculated that should get us third place. No? And this is the team I meant to say that would be my preferred first choice. And you'll notice there's not many of our first team in that team. So much so, actually, I've not even got Guindo registered, so he can't even play. But, yeah, 4-2-4, no attacking midfielders, no strikers at all, everyone playing defensively. Yeah. This might work, this might not work. I'll be honest, I don't know. But it's going to be interesting nonetheless. We're going to try and throw the Champions League and hope we don't get sacked. Hope we get into Europa League, and then get ourselves to win the Europa League and win the FA Cup this year, and we'll have won 4 trophies well in charge of Manchester United, and that would tick quite a few off of our list, as long as we don't get sacked. Because if you look at the club vision, they expect us to reach the final of the Champions League as a minimum. Getting into the Europa League is not quite that, is it? So what my intention to do is, for the next 3 episodes, is give you a pair of games in each one. That's the plan anyway. So today we have a game against Sporting, and then we have one against Club Brugge. So I'll advance on through the games in between them, and then show you the ones you have to see. The next one will have both the Inter games, and then Club Brugge and Sporting to finish in the one after that. And we'll see if we can somehow get ourselves into third place. I might end up doing some crazy tactical things, like, playing strikers up front and left backs in goal and stuff like that, to try to throw some of the games. But we're going to try and play it somewhat properly by just playing a fairly weakened team in a defensive formation. Basically, look at that. Play for set places, low tempo, waste time, slow the pace down, hold shape, regroup. We're not going to play expansive football. We're just going to sit and defend. We're not even going to try and counter either when we get the ball back. We're just going to defend a low line of engagement, much lower defensive line, and just try and have boring 0-0 draws. And it might not be exciting to watch. It might be. If we start scoring goals, I'm going to have to start changing things around. So you never know what's going to happen. It could be exciting. Let's get into the first one, where we try and throw this game up against Sporting Lisbon. Let's see what happens. We'll see for that one in 4 days' time, actually. So we'll see for that in just a second. And this team's not going to be the same, you see, because we've got suspensions and injuries and non-registered players. Oops, I was talking to you there, but I hadn't hit record, so you didn't hear any of it. Here is the team we're going to go with. As I mentioned, we're in this kind of weird throwing it phase. Hence, I've called it throwing the Champions League here. We're playing up against Sporting today. Here are the 11 people that are going out to play. We've got suspensions for Lamptey. Guindo's not registered. Fofana and Michel are also injured. So Ballard gets his game in goal. Sam Ballard, his Champions League debut. Probably debuts for a lot of the players in the team, to be honest. Nusa is going to cover it right back for us, because why not? Dorrington, Mbete and Escudero is the rest of the defence. McTominay and Koopmeiners sat in front of them, with Niang on the right, Durand on the left, and then Didi and Willa in the middle of midfield. As I mentioned, I'd already started. We haven't quite kicked off yet, but I'm here going through the preview, so I've recorded now, so that's the important thing. You can see they're playing a fairly sensible formation, 4-2-3-1, and Kunku there as well. We are not. Let's see what happens. I really hope that we don't win, because if we do, I might have to rethink this formation, which would be very, very annoying, to be honest. We're sitting, as I say, parking the bus, kind of Gadonaccio style, very defensive. Like, yeah, we are not going to try and attack. It's as simple as that. And the games, I'll be honest, might be boring, because we are not going to try and go forward. And as you can see from the match stats on the left-hand side, we haven't had a shot. To be fair, there hasn't been any highlights either. This might not have been the best thing to do for a video, huh? There we go. We're not going to win if we don't shoot. I mean, I have also kind of told them not to do much, so maybe they'll be saying you've told us not to shoot. So let's see what happens in this second half anyway. We still haven't had a shot. We have had a lot of the ball, but no shots. They've had 10 shots now. We've not got to see one of them, and here we go. Here's a first highlight. 20 minutes left in the game. Shot, ironically, swings the ball in, and they've tucked it in. Bundesliga there with the finish at the back post, and we're down 1-0. And are we happy to be down 1-0? I'm not sure. We probably should be happy in terms of us trying to throw the Champions League, but we can't look too happy to be throwing the Champions League, because then it'll look like we're doing it deliberately. There you go. Shot, put the ball in. Roma has it, and then Bundesliga tucks it in the back post. And finally, they go ahead, and we still haven't had a shot yet in this game. And we're not going to make any changes at all, because we don't want to win, remember. However, I did think we might have had a shot, but obviously the way we're playing does not really aid us having a shot. We have lots of people defensively back, which is probably why we're not conceding too many goals, as that ball's cleared away. And look how many men we have in front of the ball here. Yet still Sporting managed to get in behind, and it was knocked wide of the goal by Colombo there. We lost 1-0. Celebrate, but don't celebrate. But celebrate. We might be going to the Europa League. Fingers crossed that doesn't get sacked, though. But it's a good start to trying to get to the Europa League. So that was a very, very boring game. If all the games are going to be that boring, you'll get 3 in each episode and not 2, 2 and 2. We'll do 3 and 3. Let's see how the next one gets on. We play against Club Brugge in 3 weeks' time or something like that. So, or 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, whenever it's going to be. We'll advance on through the other games that don't matter for you, because we've already won the league and stuff like that. And we'll see how we get on in our next European game. So, a little update before we get into our second game of today's episode up against Club Brugge. We followed up our defeat to Sporting Club de Portugal with a 1-1 draw against West Ham, who were bottom of the league at the time, so fantastic. We then won the Carabao Cup, third round against Sunderland, then we beat West Brom 5-1. So in the Premier League, look at that, we're back to third. We're still undefeated, we've only won 2 games, but we're third team. Nonetheless, we're only 4 points off the top, so we very likely are going to do well in that. However, we're still going to try and throw this Champions League. So here is the team for the game against Club Brugge. You can see we still have Guindo unregistered. Injuries for Fofana still. Michel's just returning back from injury as well. Koopmeiners is actually now out for 5 months with a broken leg. So ideal. He normally plays in our throwing the Champions League team, but not today. He's going to be replaced in the midfield by Michel, who's not played for a long time, so he'll come back from injury playing in central midfield in a game that we're not trying to win. So that could be interesting. Ballard's going to play in goal. Dorrington and Betty at the back with Lamptey and Escudero either side. McTominay and Ndidi playing in defensive midfield positions. Willard and Michel in central midfield with Nusa and Duran as the wingers. We're playing defensive. We're trying not to have the ball. We're trying to play with a much lower line of engagement, lower defensive line, and slow everything down and waste lots of time. The last time we played this formation, we didn't have a shot in the game, and that's exactly what we're looking for in this one here. So let's see how we get on. Let's see if there's maybe a few more highlights though, because last time it was a bit boring for you because you only saw one highlight or two tops, and that was a goal from Sporting Club de Portugal. Let's go and see how we get on. The board are still happy enough with us at this moment in time, even though we've not really won a lot of games so far this season. So let's see how we do. We're in front of the Old Trafford faithful this time round, so let's see if that changes anything as we've got the ball. We've lost it now though. Lang gets the ball off Lamptey, and he comes in field. Finds Danze and Verscheren, and it's a good save from Ballard in our goal here. And early on, we had a chance, but again, we lost the ball, went to Brugge, and they nearly go up 1-0 early on in this one. Corner kick for Brugge, the ball comes into the back post, it's headed away, but they have another chance to get the ball into the middle. Mbamba with it, finds Batsner, back to Mbamba, we've got 11 men behind the ball. No surprise there, I suppose, with the way the formation's playing for us. Mbamba with the ball again, no one closing him down because we're just sitting deep and saying, on you go, try and break us down. Verscheren, back to Williams, plays the ball down the right, Batsner here, Buchanan, can he get the ball into the middle? He tries to reach the byline, he does, ball into the back post, Lang heads, it's a good save from Ballard in the goal. And we're yet to have a shot in this game yet again. I suppose that's not a surprise with this formation, is it? We're successfully throwing the Champions League. And I'll say we've not taken enough shots. Let's see if we can take some more, even though we don't have a striker on the field of play. I feel bad about this being the way that we're playing, but we've got to try and get into Europa League, and this is the way I've decided we're going to do it. Let's see if we get sacked before this happens. I really hope that's not the case. There's only 20 minutes to go in the game, and it looks like it's going to be another game where we don't have a shot unless we get one during this highlight, but it looks like Brugge are going to have the chance, and could Club Brugge go ahead late in this game? Dancy with it, there's just no pressure on the ball. Imagine, this is really how Burnley or someone like that played under Dyche, wasn't it? Just sit back, soak up the pressure, and don't try and close anything down at all. Be difficult to beat through the middle. That's exactly what we're doing here. However, Danzy's got it. He's hit it. It's wide of the goal. He just had hit the target there. And surely it would have been a goal. But just not to be. And there's only 10 minutes left in the game. And somehow Club Brugge have not managed to break us down so far. And they might not do it here as the time is just ticking away. And it's going to be a 0-0 draw. We'll take a point. I suppose that helps us on our journey to third position in this group as we advance on. We'll have a look. What's going on here? Ourselves and Brugge, the bottom two sides. I think our aim to try to be the worst or second worst team in this group, more importantly, is going to be a successful one. The next episode, I'm not going to put the Inter games in this one here. The next episode will be the two games up against Inter. And then the episode after that will be the next games against Club Brugge and Sporting. That might get to the stage that we actually have to start playing to try to win some of those games. So let's see how we get on in those ones. But a bit of a strange episode for you here. Two games that there's not been a lot of highlights. We've not been trying to win anything. And instead, we're trying to throw our Champions League group. We're being successful so far. We'll see if it continues to be successful. And I know it's very strange this, but there's going to be a couple of weird episodes and we should get back to the way that things are meant to be. If you have enjoyed this one, please do leave a like. It's been a strange one, but please like the video. If you have enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until the next one, which is going to be two games up against Inter Milan. Are we going to try in them? Are we going to try to throw them? We'll have to wait until the next one to find out. So until the next video, we'll see you then.